Good morning, everybody. Smyrna Cowboy here. You're watching Coffee with HDR here on the HDR channel. Now go out and ride your own ride.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, and welcome back once again. Yes, Coffee with HDR here. Show number 78. Smyrna Cowboy sent that to me earlier, and then he sends me this message this morning. Unfortunately, I will not be able to make it this morning. While it is cooler, going to ride around 20 miles to stretch my legs, so to speak. I'll catch it on the replay. And I featured Smyrna Cowboy this morning. Man, I tell you, some people. But hey, how is everything going this morning? And hopefully everything's going fine your way. So let's go through some of these people in the chat room here this morning. Smyrna Cowboy, as I said, left. Toby Northern, Ron Kelly, ADAV Traveler, Chuck Henson, Mini Moto, Captain Ed. Let's see who else we got here. Jim Wilson, Windroad Therapy, and Windroad. If you mailed me the shirt, I have not received it yet. I know you talked about that, so I'd wear it on the show, but I have not received it yet, just to give you a heads up. Let's see. She said, don't forget to hit the like button. Hit that thumbs up button, man. We really appreciate it for sure. Jim Reynolds, Don C., Hog Driver 88. Let's see who we got here. Where did it go? N.H. Moosmith. Debbie's in the house. Mallory. Pete's 1800. Good morning, buddy. We hope you get your motorcycle fixed. Watch Pete's latest video there for news on his Pan America. Rocky J. Hog Driver. Jim, good morning. Paul. Money 7855. Nancy Weems. The Dusty Chronicles. Ooh, good morning, Henry. Good to see you in there for sure. Riding the old iron horses. Russell, good morning to you. Let's see. We got a fine group in here already this morning and starting out, and we are moving along here today. Got a lot to talk about, and then nothing to talk about. You know how that is. Windroad Therapy, haven't sent the mail out yet. Okay, that's all right. I just wanted to give you a heads up that if you did send it, I just want not to be lost in the mail, so that's important. Had a great trip to the Smokies. The Road Glide did great. Russell, how can a Road Glide not do great? I don't even know if that's a possibility. The road glides are the motorcycle of choice if you're riding a Harley. If you're not, if you're riding a Honda Goldwing or a Yamaha or a Kawasaki or a Suzuki or a BMW or, a Ducati, man, or what's the other one? KTMs? KTM? Yeah, whatever you're riding, guys. 100%. Royal Enfield, you've been seeing my Royal Enfield videos come out. We're going to talk about that a little bit today because I don't think they don't get enough press for sure. And going out to a demo ride and being able to go down and ride different motorcycles was a great time. I had a really good time. Money 7855 says, how was the Windy 9 HDR? We will talk about that in just a minute. I do want to address, I had a message here earlier, and I'm trying to find it. Ron Kelly, if you're in there, you said you're really approaching, your wife is wanting to know if other ladies are planning to show up. I told her you'd try to find out. So, myself, Bodine 52, and Bronco Ride, Ty from Tennessee, and Pete's 1800, our wives are not going to be there. I know that. And Pete's 18, I'm pretty sure that you said your wife is not going this year. Well, I'm pretty sure that because he's bringing the Pan America. So I don't think she's going to want to ride as a passenger on the Pan America. But there will be a lot of wives there. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot last year. A lot of guys brings their wives with them, and they set up as like a mini vacation, and it's great. So she'll have a lot to do. If your wife comes, man, tell her, she'll be very much welcomed. And it's very family friendly. So if you want to bring the little rugrats, kids, children. No, don't bring children. You don't want children running all over the place like crazy people around motorcycles and getting ran over. But wives are very much welcome, and I'm sure it's a family thing. So if you want to bring your whole family, if you want to bring you, your wife, and your 6 kids, that's fine too. Just got to maintain them there around the motorcycles for sure. But anyway, so somebody asked there, I think it was Money 7895. Money. Anyway, how was the Windy 9? You know, all the videos are coming out from the boys there. I took mine. If you watched my video, if you have not watched it, check that video out. It's called Twisties, I think, or something. I named it. And what I did, I took the whole 4 days and I put it into one video. It's about 13 minutes, so watch it until the end. It's got all the highlights in that reel that I can come up with. And Bob and Colin are actually breaking theirs up per day, which is good because mine's kind of an intro to the whole week, and then theirs is very much dedicated to the road. So you know, they're worth watching. It's a great time. You know, I just watched Bronco Rod's latest video twice, and I enjoyed it both times. It was really, really good to see that, and really enjoyable though. So Money 7855, the Windy 9 is definitely worthwhile going there. We determined, and we tried it. We rode them hard. We rode every second we could ride, and we could only do 6. Actually, it was more like 5.25, but we're calling it 6 because we were actually on the one road. It rained one night. It was so stormy out, and I mean, we got hit bad with the rain there. Just stopped to say back in, but Road Glide Andy has been sick. That's not good, Anthony. That's not good at all, man. Hopefully you're gonna get well there again for sure. So anyway, we rode, like I said, all 6 roads or 5.25 because it rained so hard. So we got on this road. I can't remember if it was the Rim of the World. Maybe that was it. Anyway, we're riding and we're coming down this road. And if you watched my video, you'll see that there was a sign that said road closed, $2,000 fine if you cross these barriers. And Colin wanted to cross. He's like, well, the motorcycles will fit around that. Let's just zoom around there. And I said, I'd be the one to get a fine. So I said, no, we better not do that. So Bronco Rod is very much, and I said there's a song by Judas Priest. I did find the name of the band that sang it. It's called "Breaking the Law, Breaking the Law, da 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 da, Breaking the Law, Breaking the Law," and that's Bronco Rod. He likes to live on the edge of life, and he wanted to break the law. So myself and Bodine stopped him. We're like, no, let's not do that. Good morning to you, Bronco Rod. I see you in the house here, Ron Kelly. Rocky J's in the house now. Let's see who else here we got. Anybody else new? HDAV Traveler. I think I covered you. I heard Colin is really good at predicting the weather. Colin is really good at predicting the weather. Colin has a bum left knee. And when we were riding, he said, man, my left knee is starting to tinge a little bit. He said, it kind of feels a little weak. And we're like, well, what are you okay? Do you have to stop? He goes, no, man, it's going to rain. He said, we're going to get hit with some rain. And we're like, nah, you're crazy, man. That's not true. And right at that time when Colin said that, Bob's phone went off. Boop, boop, alert, alert. The big storm coming, 80-mile-per-hour winds, heavy thunderstorms. Take cover now. So we immediately thought, we're motorcyclists, right? We're bikers. So our thought was, let's get the rain jackets, put them on, because that'll cover us. Then we'll be undercover. And off we went into the eye of the storm. And man, you know, you make that decision, and then you got to live with it. Because as we're riding, Bodine 52, and there he is, Bodine's in the house. Bodine 52 was yelling on comms all the time, guys, we got to find cover. Guys, we got to get cover. Guys, we got to stop. Me and Collins look at like, there's nowhere to pull off. We're like, because we're in front and Bob's like kind of behind us. He's like, stop somewhere. We were even looking for barns or shelters, anything to pull these motorcycles in, because this lightning is hitting like 4 inches from the motorcycle. Like they're shaking. And it's so loud and it's banging our ears because we got the Sennas on too, so it amplified it. And it was just like, oh my goodness, we got to stop. We're going to get killed out here. And the wind started howling and whistling and the rain is coming harder. Watch Colin's video, you'll see the rain. Watch my video, you'll see the rain coming in. Hitting the bikes, oh man, hard, like the windshields are banging. And we're tensing up and we're riding, man. We're riding it because we're bikers, man. We're cruising 40 mile an hour. It's fast you can go. You couldn't see. And we finally finally pulled off. Colin said, pull over in them banks, that bank over there. And we pulled into their ATM machine area. We pulled in there, and Bob kept saying, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? I mean, death, outside of death, but you got to live, man. When you're a biker and you're out there, you got to ride, right? I got a video coming out next Sunday or this Sunday. I don't know. I think it's next Sunday, actually. I got a video coming out that talks just about that. It talks about riding, man. Riding out the weather. When you're out there, you got to go, man. You got to go, and you just got to do it. The Harley Road Show knows that. He's one of the best. I messaged him the other day, and I said he's like one of my heroes for motorcycle riding, because this guy will not stop. It could be 150 degrees Celsius. I don't even know what that is, Fahrenheit. It can be minus 20 degrees. And Harley Road Show, and even more so, his wife will still be with him. His wife don't say, no, honey, we're not riding today. She's like, I'm getting on the bike. I'm going with you, hon. That water is only 3 feet deep. We're riding through it, man. Yeah, they're awesome, man. They're awesome for sure. If you're not watching the Harley Road Show, and I know I promote them a lot, but I believe in the guy. It's a great channel. They're funny. It's probably R-rated. Nah, PG-13. It's PG-13 rated, not G-rated. I believe in Australia, they don't have swear words. Kind of like France or the UK, they don't have swear words. Every word's just in the dictionary. And he uses them all. So it's really, really cool. So, but anyway, as you see, we're here. Myself, Bodine, Colin got home. So we're all alive, very much alive and living. And it was a great time. So how was the Windy Nine? It was great. We all talked. We stayed there 4 days. Yeah, it was 4 days. The other guys were there 5 days. And even when I got in Sunday, they said, hey, we know you're tired, and we know that you're wore out from riding. You just rode, almost 300 miles. And we know you're really wore down, HDR. But do you think you can get your helmet on and just ride just another couple hundred miles? Because we want to go do some roads now on Sunday. I'm like, okay. And they handed me a bottle of beer, and I drank it down like, did you ever see Popeye with the spinach? That's what I was like with that beer. Let's go. Let's get on the bikes and go. Colin did drink one with me, though. He's like, yeah, I'll drink a can of that beer, too, that instant energy drink. And then we went out and jumped on the bikes and took off. So, but, and you're right, Ricky KM, riding through that storm created the biggest memories of that trip that we'll ever have. And I told you guys, one day we're going to be sitting in the nursing home going, oh my goodness, do you remember that trip that we took? Oh, the rain was so crazy. The rain was so crazy. And because we'll be in nursing homes, and yeah, we'll be taking our wheelchairs out to ride. Anyway, Bodine, how many coffees did you have this morning? Bodine 52, I've been up since 4:30 a.m. editing videos. So I'm wired for sound today, my friend. Wired for sound. But let me tell you, it is worth going to Ohio. It's worth riding all 9. But what I'm getting at is stay for 6 days to give yourself some time to enjoy those roads and to go out and explore other roads. Because I hit a road out there. I actually had the video up. Some of you folks watched it. Thank you very much. But it just didn't appeal to many people because it was like a 4.5 minute video. So if you don't see it now, I'm sorry, I took it down from my channel because it wasn't appealing to anybody. So I felt that it was garbage, so I took it off the channel. And that's just the way I roll, If you have a video and it's doing really, really bad, people aren't watching it, take it down. Maybe I'll use it somewhere later on. I might tag it into another video, use it for B-roll. It's a great B-roll footage. So, other than that, it was a great trip. Paul, she's laughing beside me. I'm just trying to get back to something. Paul, tell me what is the worst language. Paul, tell them who has the worst language. Oh, who does have the worst language on their channel? I'll back you up, mate. I'm just trying to go through these. Lane by far is the worst. Oh, Lane is by far worse than you are. Harley Road Show. It's not about it's not about the language on channel because you say it in a way where it's hilarious. The context of the channel, the context of your writing, the context of your overall stuff, it's just hilarious. And I just sit and laugh. And I thought I would love to be as free. It shows that the four guys that was doing the ride across the Outback, Harley Roadshow, his wife, and the other couple. They truly, truly had chemistry between those four people. And his buddy, wherever, Bob took his bike, his buddies took his bike through it too, and they just did it. So that's the way it goes, man. For sure. Toby Northern, go check out Drop Moto's Thursday Night Live. Mr. G 1965, Mustache, and myself were answering questions about VAM. So that's on Thursday night. Okay, Toby, thanks, man. It's always good to hear you guys out there talking about VAM 22. So VAM 22, and the last day, Toby, thanks for trying to help me the other day. I kept getting an error message when I was trying to pay for my swag bag. Your t-shirt, your VAM coffee mug is going to be in there. Your VAM license plate, the Vandy license plate that says VAM is going to be in there. You're also going to get 2 shot glasses that says VAM on it, which is awesome, I think. And the bag itself is a reusable cloth bag that's waterproof. You can carry it on your motorcycle, so it's going to be a really, really great swag bag. Anyway, but Stephen Lou, good morning to you. I'm sorry I missed you. Jackie Boy, hi, how you doing today? Jackie Boy's going to be at VAM. Can't wait to shake a lot of hands and, just hanging out with everybody there. So, Mini Moto. I watched the Harley Roadshow and just laugh. Totally. People I would want to hang out with. Great storytellers. And when I told Miss HDR that Harley Roadshow invited us to Australia, and she started looking up airline tickets, I might have a better shot at bringing my boat. Now my boat is it's a nice boat. It's a 14-foot vessel. It's got a 9 horsepower engine on it. So I see me cutting across the waves of the ocean to get to Australia. Might take me a little while. Hope I don't run out of gas. Probably would, I guess, run out of gas. But anyway, so June 23rd, Toby. We'll have to watch for that. I would be banned from YouTube, brother. Yeah, Podine would be banned from YouTube. Yeah, isn't that funny? That's the way YouTube works. So if you're in another country, you can use whatever language you want, and YouTube's cool with it. If you're an American citizen, use that language, you'd probably be banned. Your channel would be shut down. You'd be excommunicated from YouTube. And Facebook would get wind of it. They would shut your account off, and Instagram would shut your account off immediately. I don't know that to be true, but anyway. First service in a couple hours. I'll double check the hose when I get there. Yeah, Mini Moto. So on your Pan Americas, your hose the same way as your hose. Did they put your hose behind the exhaust pipe? I mean, that sounds simple logic to me. I think that's great engineering and perfect design. Why wouldn't you put something that is moving coolant through your engine and put something hot over top of it? Man, makes sense. Why not boil the engine from the inside, right? But anyway. D.A. Bishop, Harley, you remind me of some old gentleman to find old store stops. They always have great stories. D.A. Bishop, thank you. I have a lot of stories. I do. I've lived some people tell me I've lived a very colorful life. Debbie will tell you that, my sister. Sometimes I sit down in school and I talk to my students about different jobs I've had in my life. Like I've driven tow motors. I've worked on batteries for coal mines. I've worked in a pizza shop. Who hasn't worked in fast food, right? And it's just so funny to see that. But the wife and I are making Mr. Mustache give us an in-person, oh, you didn't know. He will do that, but really the oh, you didn't know on Mr. Mustache, and a lot of people don't know this, his wife actually voiced over that. That's his wife doing, oh, you didn't know. She just lowered her voice down. Yeah. Not totally lying. That's Mr. McStash for sure. Harley Roadshow, just tick the box on YouTube that says It's not for children. And I reckon, yeah, I mark, you know what happens if you mark that box? And I did that one day on a live stream. If you mark that box that's made for children, guess what you're not allowed to do? And Bodine called me, told me you can't comment on the video. And in a live stream, you can't chat. So there you go. Didn't plan anything for the Harry Rose show if you visit. We have twice each time someone and something stops us from them from riding with us. Well, yeah, we won't plan anything for sure. Our off-camera banter is funny. Yeah, we do. And Bob, and I'm glad you brought that up, Bob, because we had so much. Well, the guys thought it was off-camera banter. I had my camera running all the time, so I recorded everything that was said. And the reason I did that, I told the guys later, I'm going to bring out a DVD, uncensored, uncut, unedited, uncensored. And now this is going to be a rated R DVD, guys. This is not a rated PG-13 DVD. It's going to be $99.95, and you're going to learn the true fireside chat boys. You're going to learn the truth, justice, and the American way of the fireside boys. Boy, I tell you, if that video ever got out. You know, there's some things that you record on camera that you just don't ever want the American public to see. But it was funny. It was so funny. We just had a good time, you know. And thank goodness that somebody invented that battery pack, the idea that goes on the back of the helmet that goes into the Senna. I don't know who that guy was. Pretty smart guy. But he came up with that Velcro and that battery on there because it gave us all day communication power. And we chatted and chatted and chatted. It was so funny. You know, just good times. Good times. You let it roll, right? That's the way it works there. So anyway, so what else has been happening? Well, here's one for you. Here's a story. It's not motorcycle related, but it's gear related. So I decided yesterday was a good idea if I change the oil in my wife's car myself, right? I'm getting tired of going to these oil change places. I watched a documentary on it the other day, and all they're doing is ripping you off. So even if you know what you're talking about, they're going to rip you off. They're very specialized in ripping you off. I'm talking any of these 20-minute lube jobs, these 20-minute oil change jobs. Don't go there, okay? Find yourself a respectable mechanic and go there. The documentary was very good. I mean, I'm not making this up. This is like a 2020 report. They sent investigative reporters in with their cars. The one kid went in to get a $20 oil change. He came back with a $215 bill. They said they flushed his transmission. They said they flushed his coolant. They didn't do any of that because they looked and none of the bolts were even touched. But anyway, money, yeah. Oh, see, now that would be funny, right? Right, money $78.55, but would you pay $99.95 for it, for that DVD? I mean, that we have to do a three-way cut. It's 33.3% for each of us. So we're trying to make enough money to rent. Next year, we'd like to rent a 15-bedroom Airbnb and have all you guys come stay with us. So, you know, and if we sell enough of these DVDs, you know, we'd pay for it, but we have to sell a lot of them. So anyway, yeah, but. So anyway, so I decided to change your oil yesterday. So I got my ramps out. I got everything set up, pulled the car up on the ramps. Everything was going really, really well, right? I took the cap off the oil thing, you know, the oil inlet on the engine. I took the cap off the filler where you fill it because it lets maximum air through. Man, I'm pretty smart, right? I don't want to dribble. I put the pan under the car. I loosen the plug and I'm pulling the plug out, right? I'm grabbing the plug and I'm pulling the plug out, and it looked like, did you ever see out in the field, now this is going to get a little maybe gross, did you ever see a horse out in the field like going to the bathroom, like the stream? That's how the oil came out. I was like, no! And my oil pan was too far up, and right on the floor, right on the concrete floor of the new garage. Boy, HDR, you're just the smartest guy that ever lived. Like, oh no. That's all right. I'll hose it off. But I was lucky because I also had her undercarriage. There's a pan on her car. It's a Honda CR-V you take off first to get to the plug and the filter. So I had that laying back. So most of the oil luckily got caught on that pan. And I was able to move the oil drain pan back and capture the oil. but it was coming out so fast. I was like, oh man, you know. Anyway, and it's one of those slip ups, right? That just happens. And I told Miss HR about, and you know, and I didn't want her to get really upset or anything about the garage floor. I mean, it's a garage, you know, but I don't want stains in my garage. I'm kind of weird about that. It's a new garage, right? So anyway, good morning, Ty from Tennessee. I see you're in there. Hog Driver 88, good morning. Yeah, so pulling the plug, you're right. The start of Fireside Only, there you go. Fireside Only Fans channel. I still don't think those guys would talk the way they did on the trip. I know I wouldn't either. Some of the stuff we talked about was hilarious. Anyway, back to the car. So I get the oil drained, right? All right, put the plug back in, pull the filter. What happens when you pull your oil filter? It's up in the car. What happens when you pull that oil filter? Does anybody know? You're right. Here comes the oil again. I'm like, no, grab the pan. So I pull the pan up. I got the oil from the filter in there, and I drop the oil filter in the pan, right? That's a good place for it. And once I got everything done and pulled it out, I had a spot on there. It's got to be, I mean, it's not horrible, but it's horrible to me. You know what I mean? You know, think in your house, you know, like we have hardwood floors in a couple rooms. Think in that hardwood floor, if you go in there and dump a bucket of oil on it, you're going to be kind of mad, right? That's what I think about my garage. And not only that, it's right in the middle. It's right in the, like I could see it when the doors open. I was upstairs in the house looking at the garage, and I could see right in the middle the oil stain. But I thought it would be okay. I'm a pretty smart guy, right? So I got the pressure washer out. I figured I'd just pressure wash it with water. Did anybody ever tell you water and oil doesn't really mix? And it doesn't scoot it off. It grained right into that concrete. So we are looking for a really good solution to clean that up. If this on a video of, in this on video by any chance? No, I did not record it at all. There's Bob. There's some things I just know not to record. And I changed the oil on my CRV. Now hers is 5 or 6 years newer than mine, okay? It's a 2021 CRV, and it's weird because you got that plate under it, but the plate is also very nice because it doesn't allow anything to get rusted up in there. When I took my drain plug out, Henry almost blew a blood vessel in his brain. That's how tight this plug was, right? And he told me, so when you go into those oil change places, because we've used them before, all of them do not drain the oil. They stick a suction down in the top and they suck the oil out. They don't take the drain plug out. So that drain plug in my car may have never been taken, and it's a 2016 CRV. So, Bob Nelson, good morning to you. What's that? Okay, so yeah, it was done at Honda. And Henry said usually the dealers do not take the drain plugs out because they don't get under the car. They suck the oil out and put the new oil back in. So that's what happens. Mechanical Bloopers by HDR. There you go. Season 1 now playing. Money 78.55. That's not a half bad idea. I could show you some mechanic. But, you know, one of those guys, you know, you have a toolbox, you have a garage. I bought a set of ramps. Why not do it at home, you know? The big thing with me is even with my motorcycle, doing my motorcycle services at home, it's not even just the fact of you're saving money. I mean, that's a good fact, but it's also the fact that I know how my equipment's being treated. I know what kind of oil I'm putting in it. I know what kind of filters I'm buying. I don't buy the cheap filters. When you take it in, watch Road Glide Andy when he did his oil change the other day. He could not break loose his primary screws. You know, there's 6 around the primary. And he had that top one, and I mean, he was struggling. And Anthony is a really strong dude. Like, he usually, before work, just to let you know a little bit about him, he likes to bench press like 300 pounds, like 15 times, just to get his upper body strength good so he can work on trucks. And then usually he runs around the house a couple times. He jogs. I don't know what else he does. But so he's a strong guy. Anyway, he couldn't break it loose because the dealer put it on, and when they do, they use those impact wrenches, and it's just like, why? You know, they don't take your time with your bike. They're there to make money. They're not there to worry about your motorcycle. That doesn't make any difference to them. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I do like the mechanical bloopers, though. If I would record that stuff, because that was just like, oh man! As soon as that oil sprayed out there, I was like, whoa. Did tell me one thing. I'm going to buy a bigger oil pan, to drain your oil into. I also now have, I think I have 7. No, I have 6 1-gallon containers full of old motor oil now that I have to get rid of, from the motorcycle, from my car, from her car, from the lawnmower. And there's places around here that recycle it, so I got to take it out and get it recycled. But that is what happened. Okay. Frosty's Traveler made his reservations for Sturgis. Congratulations. It's a great place. I can tell you, make sure you ride Needles Highway. Make sure you go see Mount Rushmore. Amazing roads up there for sure. Really, really good food up there. You will find they have it's elk and buffalo. Elk and buffalo burger combined. You got to eat that. Don't put in your head. I took my sister out one day. We were out somewhere, and they had buffalo burgers. She's like, I can't eat buffalo. I said, it's just a big cow. That's all it is. It's a bigger cow. It's a buffalo. But she was like, I can't eat it. Well, and then she did. She bought one and she tried to eat it. And guys, why can't places cook food? That's why I don't like to go out to eat. Because again, like my cars, when I cook at home, I know what ingredients I'm using. Bob will tell you, I pick out the right ingredients. And I'm really picky about even the onions that I'm buying, right? To make sure everything's fresh. And then we went to this steam show, and we had these burgers, and my sister was kind of leery about. And then they give them to you, they're pink. It's like, you didn't even cook them. She goes, well, they're really making them fast. They're trying to get a lot of people. A lot of people ordering them. Yeah, well, everybody should have returned them, got their money back. Maybe, I don't know. And that is a good idea, Hog Driver. Get a large cardboard box and put it under the drain pan. You want to hear a little funny thing, though? Here's the funny thing. The funny thing is, Mrs. HDR bought me this really nice, it's an oil drop cloth. It's big, right? And I forgot to put, I do it when I use on my motorcycle. I put it under the motorcycle, and the idea is if any oil falls, it's not going to get in your garage floor. It gets on that. You can hose it off. It's like this material that's got a rubber backing on it, so it won't soak through. Guess who didn't put that under the car? Yeah, me. I didn't even think about it. I thought, I got this, but I did not. Hold on. We're going to play this intro one more time here to show this off here a little bit. See if I can just stop my microphone here. Hold on.
Good morning, everybody. Smyrna Cowboy here. You're watching Coffee with HDR here on the HDR channel. Now go out and ride your own ride.
And wasn't that just a very, very beautiful color for a Can-Am Spider? His Spider is just amazing looking. And we can't wait for him to start getting healed up, get better, and be able to come out to these meetups out there. For sure. That's going to be really, really great. Had a bison burger at Sturgis. Best burger ever. I bet you that was really good too. Bison. I think that's what we had. Bison burgers. I'm sorry. Not. To me, a buffalo and a bison, is it the same thing? I think it's the same thing. I don't know. They're real big, and they're out in the field, and the Indians used to eat a lot of them because that's what was in the plains, right? Was bison or buffalo. Bison and buffalo. I don't know. I don't know if it's the same thing or not. HDR checklist for jobs helps. Nancy Weems. HDR checklists for jobs helps. I don't know what that means, but anyway, some of the local restaurants have bison on the menu. Bedford County has a fair amount of bison ranches. Jackie Boy said that. Yeah, Paul said, I always put an old plastic shower curtain. That would even been a good idea. Some kind of plastic. And I have a lot of plastic in that garage down there, but oh well. Paint your garage floor with Rust-Oleum. It helps with all chemicals and stains. Boy, that's a good idea. We wanted to get our garage floor. We talked about getting it nature stoned, getting the epoxy put on it and nature stoning put on it, because of some of the cracking that went on from poor construction, and there's really nothing we can do. You know, we got some. We did get some money off of another job that the same company did for us. And you're like, well, why did you call the same company if they screwed your garage up? Well, they didn't actually lay the concrete. It was a subcontractor. So I've been kicking it around and thinking about it. And if it really gets under my skin and irritating, what I want to do is I'm going to have the whole entire concrete floor jackhammered out and have somebody comes in that knows how to do concrete and put a new floor in there. So something we're thinking about next year, not this year. I mean, the garage was just built 2 years ago. So we'll work through that. But yeah, you can paint it yourself. And that's a really good idea. I didn't know you can paint concrete with Rust-Oleum. So that is a really good idea. And it would just wipe off. That would make a lot of sense. So Windroad Therapy, thank you, because that might be something that would be definitely more price conscious than the nature stone. And probably even more price conscious, I'm sure, than getting it reconcreted. But either way, epoxy coating is easy to clean. It looks great. Now, can you just put epoxy on a concrete floor without putting the nature stone on? Is that a possibility? Is it, I imagine, some kind of coating, right? And it will probably cover those cracks up, so it'll probably be good for both things. So Paul says, we have a few bison farms in central South Carolina. If any of you are wondering at this point, why doesn't HDR highlight our comments anymore? Well, the reason was, basically, I was using StreamYard. That's what most streamers use nowadays to stream these broadcasts. But if you ever know StreamYard, unless you pay $240 a year, they put their little logo at the top of the screen, like right up about there. They put their StreamYard logo. I didn't really like that, you know. And I understand why they do it, because if they're giving you something for free, free is never free. There's just nothing free in this world. So they have to advertise their service, and I do get that. StreamYard is really nice if you have more than one person on your stream. But being this is a singular person stream, I am now using OBS Studios. OBS Studios is free. It connects to your YouTube. You can set your stream up in there and everything. And like I said, it's free. I could bring in multiple guests. I can have phone calls. I could do everything I could do with StreamYard without all their branding on here. So that's why, but I can't highlight your comments anymore. So I did set this up, and I don't even know if this works. Does this work on here? Let's see if I turn this on. Nope, I guess not. That's a different chatting program. Okay. So I guess you have to change that to the chat stream of each one here. Yeah, but anyway, regardless, because I don't think I can get this. Let's see. Nope. Nothing there. I'm just looking around here, seeing what's on here. Anyway. So anyhow, the total getting the car done. The car's done, thank goodness. And we are, planning our vacation. Pete's 1800 did a really nice video about, are you changing your vacation plans based on today's high, exorbitant gas prices? Okay, and I'm not going to get into gas prices. There's some really good videos I found on YouTube that explains everything there is to know about gas prices and why they're so high. Basically, they're so high, I guess. I talked to Bodine about it, and he's a business guy, and he said basically the reason falls down to there's not enough oil to go around. So the way to keep people from using it up really, really fast is just charge you a shit ton of money, right? Just charge out the butt. But what I'm seeing, though, is people are still buying it up. So that doesn't work. So they'll just keep raising the prices until we stop buying as much. That's their goal, because they're slowing down our use of what they don't have, I guess, basically. I don't know. Anyway, Paul says, HDR, post a live chat also when you post this video. You're the only one that I followed that doesn't. I don't even know, Paul, how to post a live chat when I post a video. It just, YouTube does all that for me, and I don't know how to do that. I'll look into it. I'll see if I can fix it, but for sure. So you can go through the live chat, because the live chat, and I told you guys, this whole entire Coffee with HDR is very humbling to me, because I'm just a guy that sits here. I talk to you, I bring you videos on YouTube like many other people do. And I started this live chat, 78 shows ago. But it's the chat room. It's you folks coming in here each and every week and talking about different things, because I can want you even talk to each other. And we have such a great community. That's what makes this all possible. And the morning coffee. It's the great. What was that commercial before? It's a great taste for starting off the day. It's Folgers in your cup. I don't drink Folgers. I drink Maxwell House coffee. Okay, so they actually slowed production. Well, they slowed production. You're right. You're exactly right, Frosty. And just again, these are videos I watched during the pandemic in 2020. Okay, we don't talk a lot about that on these streams, but during that time in 2020, nobody was using gas. Everybody was sitting in their houses. There was no gas, so they were barreling this oil, right, to the point where they almost ran out of barrels, because there's like, we have no more empty barrels. So they basically did cut production in like over half of the factories, or half of the oil, whatever they call them, refineries. They stopped it by half. And they said the production will not catch up to where it should be until 2025. So get used to paying these high prices until 2025. Then we'll see it go back down to like $4 a gallon, right? I don't think it'll ever get post-pandemic prices, I know I complained when it was $1.99 a gallon. I'm like, $1.99 for gasoline? So, but anyway. I am starting to tear up. Let's see. I understand it. Viper 6, good morning. Glad you made it in there, buddy. Saying about gas price, but Canada's the third largest reserve, and the government hampers its distribution, which drives up the. And you're right. It is. It's OPEC. OPEC is a part of the organization that works with the government, but it's also your states. The state of Pennsylvania charges the highest gas tax in the U.S., right? And the reason we do that is because we have the biggest governor's mansion, and he has to pay a lot of servants in that mansion. So he needs a lot of money. Yeah, that's probably a lie too. I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not getting into the politics of this stuff, because I think it goes way beyond politics. It's so far out of control right now. Go to the grocery store and just go to the grocery store, and you go in there, and guys, I'm telling you, I told Miss HR, you better start liking venison. And she's like, I don't eat deer. I said, then you're going to be eating cereal, and you're going to have to make the cereal yourself, because prices are going so high. And it's okay if you can reach them prices, but still, look what you're paying. I don't care if you're making $50,000 a year, if you're making $500,000 a year. Your savings accounts are taking a hit, guys. You can't put as much in savings because you're trying to live. I know ours is that way. We used to put so much in savings. Now you're using that to live on. It's just ridiculous. Food prices are going so crazy. And you can't blame anybody. Look at the tractor trailer drivers. If you're a tractor trailer driver out there, and especially if you're an independent. I just seen the other day, I was going down the road, diesel fuel is $6.29 a gallon here. And I'm sure it's higher in many parts of the country. $6.29 a gallon. How many gallons does a tractor trailer get per mile? What, 2? 3? I don't know. Yeah, Judy, they say that too. Gas taxes are for road repairs, and I get that, and I used to believe that, but our roads around here are nothing but shit. And I know a guy, and he was just at our meetup. We had a meetup at Finks Harley Davidson. He works for PennDOT, and I said, can you please quit tarring and chipping these roads? Just blacktop them. Get this tar and chip. If I became the governor of Pennsylvania, the first thing I would do is outlaw tar and chipping. You wouldn't do it anymore. If you didn't have anything else to do that day, send the guys home half a day with half their pay. They don't need to go out there, be tarring and chipping and just screwing all these motorcycles up. It's just wrong. Not to mention cars. Those chips on your cars bang up the underneath of your car and tear your paint all up and everything. It's just absolutely horrible. So, how about FTC coming down on Harley? The FTC, Federal Trade Commission, coming down on Harley. I haven't read that, so I really can't do any kind of, honest reporting on that or any kind of give you any feelings on it because I don't know. But 300-gallon fill up on some of those. 300 gallons. $25 to fill a gas can. Yeah, there you go. Debbie is telling you. $25 to mow her lawn. Now, my sister recently retired, right? She's living on a fixed income. She likes her lawn to look nice in her yard. My sister's yard, and I got to take pictures of it to show you. Maybe I'll take the drone up here and show you some footage. It is the most pristine yard. And I was just thinking, Deb, when I came home, and I joke with her all the time, it's like, nobody can see your house because she lives like on a mountain. Did you ever see the Waltons Mountain? That's kind of like my sister. She kind of lives very secluded, has a beautiful place, She has roughly, 15 acres, beautiful, beautiful landscape area. But I wanted to send it into like home and garden. It's so perfect. Her yard is so perfect. But she has to pay $25 to mow it. Isn't that just ridiculous? Ridiculous. Now she knows I'm doing a show. That's my daughter calling. Everybody in my life knows Saturday mornings from 8 to 9 belongs to YouTube. It belongs to this group of people in here. And I, again, appreciate you so much. Goofy Bastard's in the house. Always nice to see Goofy Bastard. If you're not watching his channel, check him out. He's a really, really good guy, too. HDR for governor. There you go, Bob. Because I would absolutely stop that tar and chipping. But recreational boaters in the ocean can have to pay Yeah, see, and that's even right, Henry. You're right. The marinas have to even charge more money for these boats out there. I don't know how people are doing it. But Pete's 1800s video kind of hit home, and I did comment that myself and Miss HR has changed our vacation now a magnitude of times. Okay, we've changed it a lot, and the reason is because of the high cost of fuel. We looked at flying. We were going to fly to like Jamaica, or we were going to fly to. Remember, I talked about Ireland. The airline tickets are. I don't even know how people are flying. You look at these airports and they're full. Why? Now, here's the backside of that. The airports are full. We talked about this at Debbie's house having dinner the other night. Some lady booked her trip 4 months in advance. She's going on a cruise. The cruise ship is ready to go. They canceled her flight. They didn't have no crew. Come on. You didn't have no crew? Maybe that's true. You didn't have any gas in the plane? Maybe that's true. I don't know. Topped up the bike last week, 14 liters, $34. Yeah, these motorcycles, when we went last week, we absolutely, we were, now everybody's texting me again. Oh, my Lord. Anyway, we went, and every time we stopped, it was $22 to $25 to fill our motor. I'm talking 3 or 4 gallons of gas, premium. Here's just something for you. What happens if I put regular gas in my motorcycle? How's that going to run? I'll pour some octane boost in it or something. Focus. Look at my phone, how it's lighting up. You see that? Look at all those text messages. I got to put you on the guys on silent. Boop, there you go. Now I can't hear you. All right. Anyway, talk to me. I almost got stuck in. Yeah, see, Pete's 1800 was on vacation, and he almost didn't get back home to the States because his planes were canceled. Yeah, and you're right, Minimoto. All those canceled flights have to make you nervous. Good morning, Chuck Henson. I didn't say good morning to you. And, it's one side or the other, and I know we've talked about this before, I think I did a video on it one time, or many people do videos on this. People believe when you own a motorcycle, it's cheaper transportation. Is it cheaper gas? Sure. But every mile you put on that motorcycle, you got to put a set of tires. You got to change your tires sooner than later. And motorcycle tires, 2 tires are going to be at least $500-600, right? not to mention the services. Every 5,000 miles, you're going to drop. And even doing it myself, it cost me about, I don't know, $80, I guess, to do all 3 holes in the filters. So, not bad. Better than 500 at the dealer. And people tell you the dealer, well, they do so much more. Let's see. Frosty Travis says, paving a 2-lane asphalt road costs $70 to $170 per linear foot, or $370,000 to $900,000 per mile. Blacktop road construction cost more than driveways because they need to be 5 to 11 inches thick. And that's okay, Frosty Traveler, and I appreciate that perfect information, those facts. I appreciate those facts. I pay a lot of money in taxes. I don't care if it costs $2 million per linear foot. They should be doing it. Blacktop it. Put new blacktop. Don't tar and chip. That's garbage, Why can't they just seal it like everybody does their driveways around here? Just put the oil on it and seal it. Put signs up. Keep everybody off there for 2 or 3 days. Let it dry. And then throw your damn chips away, This is not Chips Ahoy. Throw them away. But hey, it is what it is. I don't know. Nobody will ever listen. Guess I should cancel my trip to San Francisco in September. Judy, I wouldn't cancel it. Just don't really plan on getting there the day you think you're getting there. How about that? Let's just say that, Judy. What I mean by that is if you're flying out, say you said in September, you're flying out September 15th, you might just not get a plane until September 21st because your plane could be canceled. It just, and there's no warning. You go to the airport, you wake up early, you clear security, you go down through and look up at the board. It's like, oh, it's canceled. But honestly, people, and that has happened to a few people. There's really good apps on your phone to check airline flights. Check them before you leave the house. Make sure your plane is actually there and waiting for you. I think that's a really good idea too. Harley 103 is late. Well, Harley 103, you have a great day. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate that. Pink's Adventures, good morning. Let's see. We need to tax EV since they all use... Who's EV? Emergency vehicles? Yeah, I don't know if they're tax exempt or not. Emergency vehicle, I think that's what you're talking about. The problem is snowplows dig through the chips and the roads are like a washboard. You're right, Jackie boy. We put very expensive blacktop in front of my house as a parking area after we built the garage. When guests come over, well, my boat's out there now because I leave my boat in front of my house during the summer because it's easier to hook up and pull out. And it's just easier to do that. And we used to have gravel out there, and it was a pain. Every year I had to buy 2 or 3 more ton of gravel to throw out there. So we finally put, blacktop. I'm not saying expensive, but it wasn't cheap as gravel, naturally. And they did a beautiful job. Put a nice curb up there. And, oh, it's wonderful. Yeah, the stupid township snowplows came down, dug right into it, chopped a piece of it out, I don't know. They say good help is hard to find. Apparently good drivers are hard to find also. It's probably one of the supervisors. Paving will cost less than patching. I like the places, EV, the tax motorcycles and have minimum impact on the roads. Heck, some roads do not need, some of us do not need roads. I need roads. I have to have roads. Problem is the snowplows. I'm just catching up here, guys. Hybrids and electrics pay an additional road use tax due to not using that much gas. Paul, that's absolutely horrible news. And I probably wished you never told me that, Paul, and I like you. You're a really great guy. But why am I going to do exactly what I was told to do? Buy an electric vehicle, then I got to pay more tax because I'm using your shit road that's banging up my electrical vehicle? Not that I own an electric vehicle. We were going to buy a hybrid when we bought Miss HDR CRV. And at the time, there was no cost savings because the engine always runs in a CRV. And I said, how's that save? How much? Because she only works 10 minutes from home. We thought, well, she'll just use electric to go from here to her work. Oh, no, the gas still has to run. Of course it does. You got to burn gas. Hell, we got to use oil. That's important. So, anyway. Bodine said, I'm confused. Yeah, so am I, buddy. I am confused, too. PA has the most miles of toll roads as well. The most toll roads are actually owned by the counties. I didn't know that either, but we do have a lot of toll roads for sure. Oh, electric vehicles. I got your Bronco ride. Emergency electric vehicles. Which one? It's electric vehicles, Bronco ride. I'm sorry you're confused. Yeah, emergency vehicles. Emergency vehicles are tax exempt, but they're emergency vehicles. It's electric vehicles. I guess they have to pay an extra gas tax, so just to know that. And many of you put that in there, and I missed it altogether. Sorry. But anyhow, that's the way life goes, right? Sometimes I see you, sometimes I miss the chat, and I'm sorry. Most electric vehicles come from burning coal. William, welcome to the channel. Good morning to you. Glad to have you on board there with us this morning. Nancy Weems was making hot cakes. I tell you, you didn't invite me to your house. I would have came over and had pancakes with you. Paul said exactly what I thought, HDR. Yeah, it does happen. So, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in society? My dad used to always tell us, and my dad, Debbie will probably remember this too. He would say stuff is dear, like DEAR, but I think it was actually DEER, like dear. And the idea of old timers saying that is things are getting very expensive. They're getting dear. They're getting very costly. If my dad was alive today and pulled in a gas station, I swear to God, he'd have a heart attack and die. He would have a heart attack and die. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It'll never get fixed. It just won't. I'm a true believer of that. And but Pete, you're right. And I told Pete, and he said he really felt bad about that, but it has changed a lot of our vacation plans. We're still leaving for vacation tomorrow morning. Thank goodness we'll be on the road. Don't forget, there's a fireside chat with the boys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is going to be on Bronco Rod's channel. And I may be on there from the car, or we might be at our hotel by then. I don't know. I hope we're at the hotel. I'm taking all my streaming gear with me. So, and I really hope that we can actually pull that off. But we're going to be talking tomorrow night about the trip that we just had to the Windy Nine, or as Bodine likes to call it. You'll never hear it in his videos. He believes it's the Windy Nine. He was so funny. Hey guys, it's Bodine 52. We're out here on the Windy Nine. Oh shit! Man, Colin was laughing so hard. He kept saying the Windy Nine, the Windy Nine. He did it 3 times, and he finally, the Windy Nine. Then he finally had it. But I said honestly, they shouldn't have spelled them both the same. I told Miss HR, why don't they spell like windy, like WINDIE, and windy, WINDY. They didn't. They spelled both the same. No need to give HDR more screen time on the fireside chat. What do you mean, dude? Paul, I need more screen time on the fireside chat. You guys don't know me. You don't know who I am. No, I'm just kidding. I pay road tax on 2 cars in Scotland. The money is meant to be used for maintenance of the highways. It does not, though. Our government uses it elsewhere. We love Saturday with HDR. No need to hit and need to hit the like button. Thanks, Bodine. Yeah, absolutely. Bodine Bronco Rod says thanks, guys. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. I do appreciate it. As I said, we got the fireside chat coming out tomorrow, and we I have a new video coming out Sunday, next Wednesday, and next Sunday, and those are all posted because we'll be on vacation. I'm not sure when we're coming home at this point, but the gas has changed our vacation plans because we're not going as far. Okay, I will give you that. It's an undisclosed location as always, but if I post some stuff and you're around the area, we'd love to meet you. Myself and Miss HDR will definitely be on Instagram, so follow her also. And I think she goes by Mare Bear. I don't know if it's Mare or Marbear, Mare Bear. You'll find her on there. Just look for the same last name as mine. Yeah, it is. Rides, right? Harley Day Rider. Her last name is Rider, just like mine. But anyway. But big day, big night tomorrow. You're going to learn so much about what we did, what we've seen, even outside of the videos. And I hope the guys will do that. We'll pull it all together. Tell you a little bit about living in a house with 2 other guys. We could tell you that stuff. Renting Airbnbs are probably one of the greatest things you can ever do when you travel, if you're traveling with a group of people. In VAM, we have lots of people staying at the house. So it's going to be more like a dorm room, I would think, or a dorm. And we're going to be doing keg stands. Do you ever do a keg stand where, you put the thing in your mouth, we hold your feet up in the air, and you suck from the keg, we'll be doing keg stands. So Pete's 1800, you're going to be first. We'll hold you up and you can drink the beer. So anyway, where in the world is HDR? Undisclosed location, Bronco Rod. We don't know. We don't know. You can't track IP addresses. I'll find you. Thanks everybody for watching. Man, I tell you, as I said every week, and I'll say this 100 times over, and you'll hear me repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. I am always humbled to be here with you with Coffee HDR. I love this chat room. I love all you guys. You're solid people. We have a great community, and I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So get out there today, ride those motorcycles, have a great time, and I will talk to you tomorrow night and then next Saturday again for another Coffee with HDR. We're getting up there. I want to get to that 100th episode, man. I can't wait. Keg stands. There you go, Bronco Ride. We are ready. Remember, Pete's 1800 is first. Hold his feet up. Pete, be ready to go. Remember, as I always tell you, ride your own ride. Be safe out there on those motorcycles. And I will talk to you next time. Harley Day Rider, your good old friend HDR, be down and out in the beautiful studios here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Take care. See ya.